Hey everyone, I'm here with a quick story on a docu-series that is currently on Netflix called Baby Reindeer. If you have not had the opportunity to watch this series, I do highly recommend it, but with a disclaimer. And the disclaimer is that it is triggering, it is hard to watch, it takes you on an emotional roller coaster ride. It deals with abuse, unfortunately. It deals with um, just substances. It deals with what many people state or claim goes on in the industry of being groomed. It deals with that situation. But if you watch it, it gives you high level insight as to how the Little Rodneys, and that, and Little Rodney is currently suing Diddy for being SA'd, SH, and R'd, why he was working with Diddy doing the Love album. So it kind of gives you insight how even maybe an adult can fall victim to such things as a result of maybe having low self-esteem. And it's like the unfortunate perfect storm of perhaps maybe I have low self esteem. I'm trying to find my way. And then I bump into a person who wants to tell me, you're great, you're good, you can do this, you can do that, come to my home. And then they give me substances, have me, blown out of my mind, so to speak. And when I'm in this euphoria of kind of in between this world and another world, because I'm so high, that's when they start to touch on me and take advantage of me. And the next thing I know, it's like, I'm coming back to this vicious cycle of being used. And I'm only using those particular words because, it's but so many words you could say on YouTube, but it gives you a lot of insight into that unfortunate world where even as an adult, you can be taken advantage of. So, and it's based on true events. And actually, the guy who is the main character, he is an individual whom this really happened to, and I think that's what makes the show even like really really good, because it's just like a lot of true heartfelt emotions, and it's just so sad what he went through. But like again, I said, it gives you insight as to how someone can innocently and unfortunately fall into said situation. So the true story behind Baby Reindeer, what happened to Richard Gadd, okay? Richard Gadd plays a fictionalized version of himself in a Netflix Baby Reindeer, which tells the true story of his stalker. And a disclaimer, he wants everybody to try to not look for the person that was stalking him. Don't try to look for the real people in which he is, what she is, saying in this event, because he doesn't want anyone to stalk these people. He doesn't want anyone to go there and be like, oh my God, you're a bad person. He wants everybody to understand how easy it might be to fall into this horrific situation. And the reason why he wants you to know is because hopefully you will not fall into said situation. And if you do, you will not consistently beat yourself up the way that he beat himself up. So, Baby Reindeer may be fictionalized, but it is based on true events that happened in creator Richard Gadd's life. The comedian plays a version of himself named Donnie Dunn in the show and recounts his experience being stalked by a middle-aged woman he names Martha. Her real name is not known. Though he changed some events slightly to create dramatic climaxes, he told The Guardian in April 2024, the story is resoundingly true. It's very emotionally true. Obviously, I was severely stalked and severely abused, he said, but we wanted it to exist in the sphere of art as well as protect the people it's based on. Glad also touches on his experience of being art and groomed by an older, successful TV writer in the show, and his struggles with self-blame following the events. He has everything to know about the true story behind Baby Reindeer and what happened to Martha's character in real life. Who's Donnie Dunn in Baby Reindeer? Donnie Dunn is played by and based on Glad, a Scottish comedian who started his career doing stand-up comedy. His stand-up show, Monkey See, Monkey Do, won a comedy award when he performed in 2016. The show was based on Gadd's experience of being groomed and assaulted by an older man who manipulated him early in his career. While the show wasn't necessarily funny, it moved audiences. The performance led to more success. For Gadd, who then wrote his one-man play Baby Reindeer in 2019. Gadd later adapted Baby Reindeer into a television series, which was released on Netflix in April 2024 and immediately topped the streamers charts. It's clearly struck a chord, he told The Guardian. I really did believe in it, but it's taken off so quickly that I do feel a big wind swept. Now he's working on writing a 6-part drama for the BBC called Lions. So it says, is Baby Reindeer a true story? Baby Reindeer is based on the real events that happened in Gadd's life. In 2015, a woman begins stalking him. In the show, Gadd's character Donnie meets the woman, Martha, as he's working at a bar, and she strikes up a conversation with him. The same happened in real life. The real woman walked into the pub and said she couldn't afford a drink, so Gadd offered her one on the house. She went on to obtain his email and stalked him for 4 years, calling him Baby Reindeer. Over the course of that time, Gadd received 41,071 emails, 350 hours of voicemail, 744 tweets, 46 Facebook messages, and 106 pages of letters from her. At first, everyone at the pub thought it was funny that he had an admirer, Gadd told the Times in April 2024. Then she started to invade my life, following me, turning up at my gigs, waiting outside my house, sending thousands of voicemails and emails. Though he went to the police about the situation, the authorities weren't much help. Gadd said they found it unfathomable that a man could be getting stalked when the situation is stereotypically the other way around. When a man gets stalked, it can be portrayed in films and television as a sexy thing, he told the Times, like a feminine fatality, who gradually becomes more sinister. Where am I at? I'm sorry. It doesn't carry much threat of physical violence, is less common and can be trivialized. He continued, I was physically scared because I didn't know how far she could take it. She could have a knife, but I did think how terrifying it would be if she was a tall, scary man. However, taking the story to the stage and eventually to the small screen was healing for him. I couldn't keep it all in anymore. Making shows about it was all I had, he told the outlet. I was shell-shocked, but by performing it, you gain ownership. When you keep it inside for so long, it becomes gigantic and insurmountable. But through performance, you can somehow go outside yourself and observe and process it. Who is the real Martha? Gadd has never publicly stated Martha's real name or identity in an effort to protect him. Though she harassed him for over 4 years, Gadd said he still has a certain level of sympathy for her as a mentally ill person. He told GQ in April 2024 that in order to cover her identity, he changed certain aspects of her character so no one could identify who she was. We go into such great lengths to disguise her to the point that I don't think she would recognize herself, he said. What's been borrowed is an emotional truth, not a fact-by-fact profile of someone. What happens to Martha and Baby Reindeer on Netflix? In the show, Martha is sentenced to 9 months in prison and a 5-year restraining order after she leaves a threatening voicemail on Donnie's phone that makes him fear for his family. He attends her hearing while Martha pleads guilty to all counts she was charged with and begins to cry. When he leaves, Donnie feels sorry for her. He says in his narration, the court hearing is the last time he saw her in the show. What happened to Martha in real life? In real life, Gadd hasn't made it clear whether the real Martha is serving time, though he says the situation has been handled. It is resolved, he told the Times. I had mixed feelings about it. I didn't want to throw someone who was that level of mentally unwell in prison. However, he did eventually prove to the police that he was being harassed by recordings and all her messages when she was threatening him or people around him. Overall, Gadd found his experience with the police to be unhelpful, and he was left feeling let down, he told The Independent in April 2024. Going through the police process on the stalking case, I really didn't feel quite confronted with just how with just how much of lack of resources there seemed to be, how the police have been gutted, he told the outlet, adding that he was also alarmed at the lack of help that was provided to his stalker. Though the stalking has come to an end, Gadd said the emotional ramifications continue to live on in him. When you go through quite a relentless ordeal of stalking, it does imprint itself upon your soul a little bit, he said. I still live in its aftermath a bit for sure, but I guess that's why I do the art, to work through it, to understand it, and to try to let all of these kinds and to try to let go of all of these kinds of things. And then it says, if you or someone you know has been SA, please contact the National SA Hotline. And there is a number, 1-800-656-HOPE, or go to rain.org. Now, let me back up and say this. If you get the opportunity to watch it, it's 7 parts. It's like I said, it's emotional, it's triggering, it will take your emotions on a roller coaster ride, but you will get a clear understanding of what Little Rodney from the Diddy case claims that he went through. You will get a clear understanding, because people are like, well, why go back? And I've said that to myself. I said that out loud multiple times, but you would get a clear understanding through his character as to why you continue to go back to said person that has been violating you, right? So it's a good watch. It's worth the watch. And it will give you a greater understanding of what goes on, not just in the industry, the entertainment industry, but what goes on when people are looking to just take advantage and violate you. And it seems like a key ingredient in a lot of this is people will give you substances. So it will alter your mind and your thinking, get you confused. And that's when they seem to take advantage of you. And many of the people in the Diddy case, and I keep bringing up the Diddy case because it's like relevant in kind of trending topics right now, and many that people are familiar with and can relate to. But many of those individuals, including his ex Cassie, who was successful in suing him, said he kept giving her substances and substances and substances, and that alters your mind and your common sense and your train of thought, and you find yourself in situations that when you wake up and you are sober again, you're confused, you start blaming yourself, and then you're all over the place. Anyway, guys, if you saw the series already, let me know. Chat with me in the comments, so when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you are going to watch the series, chat with me after you watch it. But anyway, guys, chat with me in the comments, so when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video.